Hey y'all, welcome to Cooking with the Queens. I'm Veronica Paige, and I'm going to be your hostess tonight. We're going to be cooking spaghetti, but when we get there, you'll learn how to do it, and it's going to be real easy, okay? However, we are here for a reason. We are here to open a door for conversations via something we all know and love, and that's food. You can't tell I love to eat. I hope you do too. We're going to get started with our spaghetti. Are y'all ready? We're going to do real simple. We're going to throw some meat in the pan. We got about 2 pounds of ground beef. Oh, and it's sizzling already. I love it when people have things on for me. So we put 2 pounds of ground beef in the pan. We're going to put 1 pound of sausage because that just adds a little extra love into it, and we like to have extra flavors, right? Now, when I'm cooking at home, I'm usually with a lot of people. We're trying to do really cheap and easy meals for you, just so you know, that's important. Everything we cook tonight for 10 people is going to be less than $20, okay? That's the meat, the sauces, the mushrooms, everything, less than $20. It's hot over there. I don't like it when it's that hot. Ooh. All right, so we're going to throw a little salt in our salt water, our spaghetti water. Ooh, throw it over the shoulder because we got a little bad luck there. We're going to put a little oil in there too, y'all. And that's just to keep our noodles from sticking. That's so important because you don't want sticky noodles. Nobody wants sticky noodles. So the meat's cooking. We're going to let it brown up. We're going to drain it. While it's doing that, we're going to go ahead and cut us some onions up. I think I have water boiling too, so we'll probably start the noodles real quick as well. Don't get scared. Knives are not dangerous unless you don't know how to use them. Sometimes I don't, it's okay. Rumor has it spaghetti was invented in China. In 1295, Marco Polo brought spaghetti to Italy. It's time to put our pasta in. Y'all, we put a little salt and a little oil in that water and it's finally bubbling. I can't open this sucker though. There we go, we got it. We're going to start with a pound and see what happens, okay? While that's going, we're going to throw a little seasoning in our meat, okay? Because I like to season everything. Ooh, yes. A little Italian seasoning. Any kind, doesn't have to be name brand. Get the cheapest shit you can find. Because that's the most important thing. We're keeping it cheap, y'all. Real cheap. So, again, we're cooking spaghetti sauce, which is real easy. Takes about 20 minutes to cook a full meal, especially when you're cooking spaghetti. We're also cutting up some onions because once we drain that meat, we got to saute these suckers, okay? I didn't cut that very well. I want to do it again. Oh yeah, felt real good. When I'm cutting an onion, I like to cut the ends off, cut it in half, okay? That makes it easier to get that god-awful skin that we don't like off of it. And I always take that first layer because I really don't like onion that well anyway. And most people don't because it tastes like ass, okay? This is an adult show. I can say the A word. All right, so we're gonna cut some onions. Oh, my hand got my eyeballs. I'm sorry, y'all. And I like to cut them real small because I really, again, don't like to taste an onion in my mouth. Okay, I want it to be small, so cut it real thin, little layers, and you've got this nice flat side to cut on. Right, it can lay there and not move. So now that we're all chopped into halves and slices and all that fun stuff, we're gonna cut it into little dices. Okay. Because that meat's about done. I can smell it. Oh Lord, I want it so bad. All the meat. So we've got some cute little dices on the onion. We're going to move this one because we're not using her right now. It's okay. This will be plenty for this pasta. But we got to get us a clove of garlic. All right, you can get a whole head of it at the grocery for cheap shit. Okay. And I normally can just peel this shit right off, but it doesn't work tonight, so we're gonna cut it, okay? Now we got some fucking garlic working. And just chop it up, y'all. Don't even make it pretty. Just chop that up. It's gonna be so good in that sauce. A level of garlic onion. Picture. So popping it with your knife just opens it up and gets those oils going a little bit quicker. Just so you know why I do that way. talking here, but I have to concentrate on the mic because it's dangerous. And I don't want to cut myself. Y'all should do the same thing. And I'll check this meat again. Ooh, Lord, she is done. Put that up there. Let's drain this girl. She is tired. Are you sure you want to? Ooh, she looks so good. Get all that grease out of your pan, y'all. You need to get rid of that, okay? Get your skillet, your pan back on the oven stove. I can't even talk anymore, y'all. Get your onions in. That's important. Your onions and garlic, you're going to saute down a little bit. They won't be so hard to chew, and they'll taste real good. And that's going to add some love to that sauce when you get it going, okay? I turned down the wrong one. What the hell? Know how to use your stove, by the way. That's important. In the 16th century, spaghetti was a luxury item, and only the extremely wealthy could afford it. However, today, it is easily accessible to everyone that wants some. Alright, onions are done, garlic's done. We're going to throw some mushrooms in. It's about 1 can of pieces and stems, y'all. Well, let me tell you, that's going to be delicious. I like to saute the mushrooms down a little bit, just so that the flavors of the onions and garlic get mixed in with it. When we start adding all the other good stuff, we're going to let it sit for a minute and get real happy in that pot, okay? We're going to throw some diced tomatoes in. We're going to drain them a little bit though, okay? Get rid of some of that extra juice so you don't have that aluminum can flavor, which is important. We don't like to taste metal, right, when we're eating. And we're using 2 because we're fixing for a whole bunch of people. That's important to remember. If it was 1 person or 5, I would only use 1 can because I hate tomatoes too. Lord knows. That would be my dietitian. Because I hate tomatoes and onions and garlic and all that good stuff that you're supposed to love. We're going to season it too, okay? Because I love to season. Ooh. Isn't that fun? Just throw a little tablespoon or 2 in there and let it go. Let it sit for a minute. 1789, Thomas Jefferson brought spaghetti to America. We're just so thankful for that because we love noodles. Alright, so we've got the pasta going. We need to check on it so it doesn't overcook because that would be disgusting. Alright, mushy pasta is not fun for anybody. Neither is stuck pasta. Luckily that's not happened because I'm keeping it going. Alright, everything's cooked down a little bit. We need to add some sauce though, okay? So that we have a good runny sauce to go on our pasta. And I didn't put my apron on tonight and I probably should have. Because I'm going to have red shit everywhere. Alright, that's all the sauce we need. It's got a lot of sauce in it. It's getting real liquidy. But we're going to let it simmer for a few minutes and it'll thicken up, which is very important. I asked for one and someone handed me some white. I'm sorry for y'all's sake. Also, I was told to tell you why we're cooking spaghetti tonight. So, it's one of my favorite meals. It's also one of the easiest meals in the world to cook. It is extremely inexpensive to make. And growing up, my mother made it all the time. So she was a single mother raising 4 boys. And she was able to fix this huge meal that we could all eat like multiple times in the week. So that's why I'm doing it. Because it's easy and it makes a lot and it's fun. And it's so delicious. Because you get all those noodles and all that bread and stuff in there. Alright, so our sauce is about done. We're going to add our meat back in. That's horribly important. It's having plenty of time to get that grease off. Oh, that's a lot of meat. I like a lot of meat in my life. We're going to stir it in, y'all. Okay, break it up real good while you're stirring. And we do need another can of sauce with all that meat, so we're going to go ahead and throw that in there too. And don't worry about seasoning. It's already in the pot. It's just going to make it better, I promise. According to dietitians everywhere, 45 to 65% of your daily intake should be carbohydrates. Pass the bread, honey. Look, there. That's going to make it so much easier for me to stir this mess. Is it inside out? Good. Now you can see how skinny I am. Alright, stirring up our sauce. We're gonna stir it. Now some famous cook says to stir it in an 8 shape, 8 figure, so that it adds that extra love to it. I say that's bullshit, just stir it. Get it all mixed together. Yes. And leave it the hell alone. Check your needles though, they're probably about done or overdone. Unreal. We're gonna strain our needles because they are hot. They're ready to get strained out. Ooh, yeah. Let all that stain coming off, y'all. That's okay. Let it stain. Not your hair, because then it gets all fluffy. You don't want that. Neither do I. Trust me. Strain in our pasta. Get all that excess water out. Alright, that sauce is done. Those noodles are ready to go back in the pan. And I think what we're going to do is go ahead and plate it up. Are y'all ready to see that? Noodles, are y'all excited about that? I am. I'll eat like a fat person in a minute. So we've got our noodles in our bowl, our serving bowl, and we're going to put a little sauce over it. Oh, saucy. Saucy thing. Shit, we didn't even use the whole pot. I didn't need to look like a linebacker, thank you. Always make your dishes look pretty, because that just makes everybody else enjoy it more. I know, because I like it when it's pretty. So there's our pasta. How's that look? Does that look delicious? Y'all ready to eat? I'm ready to eat. So we're making our vegetarian option. Oh God, that's hot, y'all. Don't do that like I did. We're gonna put a few noodles in this bowl so that our veggies, for all of them. It's okay, we got spatulas, tongy things somewhere. So we've got our veggie option, but we need more noodles in our other bowl just to make sure what in the hell are they doing? There we go. Yes. Oh, shake it out. So this is what you do. When you have people that don't eat meat, you have to separate things. You have to make sure there's enough food for them as well, while making sure there's enough food for the rest of your crew. Okay? And because Mama's smart, she cooked a little bit of a vegetarian option earlier today, and it's been heating up this entire time, so it's gonna be real good and delicious. We're gonna put that on there. Ooh, look at that, y'all. Looks as good as our meat option, doesn't it? So if you don't like meat, you ain't gotta be stingy. You can still add some mushrooms to it, add some love to that noodle. I love to eat things. Anyway, that's our vegan option. This is our meat option. It's gonna get more sauce. It's gonna be real happy in it. We're gonna eat like fat people. So come back and see us with Conversations for a Queen. And as always, remember to have courage and be kind. Thank you. Good night.